Everyone loves the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're easily the best non-Marvel or DC superhero team, and since there are so many projects announced in the franchise, I decided to rank them all by how excited I am for them. At number 13, I have Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Now I know what you're thinking. What is a Sonic game doing on this list? Well, this is an upcoming kart racer based on the Sonic series, and it'll include DLC guest characters from other franchises, including characters from Mutant Mayhem. We don't know which characters will appear, but we can probably count on the 4 main turtles making an appearance. While this game looks like it'll be fun, it goes in last place because it's not a solely TMNT project, and because they're only unlockable through DLC. At number 12, I have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 plus 4. This is going to be a remake of the original Pro Skater 3 and 4, and will include Michelangelo as a guest character. And honestly, I have this above Sonic Racing because I just prefer skating games over racing games. Plus, the first remake was really good. And on a skateboard, you can actually see your full character, but when they're sitting in a go-kart, you can only see them from the back. Pause. Okay, so now on to actual TMNT content. At number 11, I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Evolution, Mutation, and Reboot. This is going to be a documentary that explores the history of the Ninja Turtles in media and expands on a previous documentary called Turtle Power, the definitive history of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, I'm not a huge documentary fan, but the first documentary got pretty good reviews, so maybe I'll check this one out. At number 10, I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Live Action Reboot. This was announced back in 2021, and it will be completely separate from the animated Mutant Mayhem universe. There's little information about it, but the writer for this movie worked on the 2021 Tom and Jerry movie and Coming to America, which were both pretty bad, so I don't have a lot of hope for this movie. And plus, we already have an animated series that works, so what's the point in making another reboot already? At number 9, I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin, the video game. This is going to be a third-person action RPG game adaptation of the Last Ronin comic series, which is very similar to the Old Man Logan comic. It's set in a dystopian future where 3 of the 4 Ninja Turtles, Splinter and Casey Jones, are all dead, and it follows the sole surviving turtle as he tries to avenge their deaths by killing Shredder's grandson. It's a very sad comic, but it's also very good, and it's one of the most popular TMNT comics. I'm excited to see this story get adapted for the first time, and this game is said to have gameplay very similar to God of War, which is awesome. However, the studio behind this is Black Forest Games, whose catalog is not very impressive. They made the Destroy All Humans remakes, which apparently were somehow worse than the originals, so they haven't really proved themselves in the gaming industry enough to have my trust, and I'm not super confident that they'll be able to handle a story as emotional as The Last Ronin. Fingers crossed though. At number 8, I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles villain spin-offs. So these are going to be animated movies releasing exclusively on Paramount+. It'll probably be connected to the Mutant Mayhem universe. And honestly, I think this is a very weird concept. Like, they only recently announced a Casey Jones spin-off and a Shredder spin-off. And to my knowledge, they're the first ever comics to be made that don't feature the Turtles as the main protagonists. And they're not even out yet. So this idea is very risky. However, if it has the same thought and care put into it as the Mutant Mayhem movie, then there's a chance that they could be good. At number 7, I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Empire City. This is going to be a first-person VR game releasing in 2026. Now, there's not a lot of information about this game, aside from a short 30-second trailer, which didn't even reveal any gameplay. And we've never gotten a first-person TMNT game before, but I'm not opposed to the idea, but I'll have to get more information about it before I get seriously hyped. At number 6, I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Chrome Alone 2 Lost in New Jersey. This is an animated short film based on Mutant Mayhem that will be released later this year and is a parody of Home Alone 2 for some reason. Honestly, I don't know why they're making this, but a Ninja Turtles short film could work, so I'm curious to see how it turns out. At number 5, I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 re-release. So the OG TMNT movie from 1990 is going to be released in theaters, along with an extra documentary called Turtles Unmasked, which will feature deleted scenes, extended footage, as well as behind-the-scenes content and commentary. Now, I really love the first TMNT movie. It's what got me into the franchise in the first place, so I'm very hyped to be able to see it in theaters for the first time, along with extra content. At number 4, I have Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 2. I liked the first season. It had a unique art style, and it expanded on the Mutant Mayhem universe in interesting ways, so I'm pretty excited to see another season. At number 3, I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate Special Editions. If you don't know, Splintered Fate was a really solid roguelike Ninja Turtles game that came out back in 2023. He was PC exclusive for a long time before being recently ported to consoles, and in August of this year they're going to be releasing 2 special edition console versions of the game with extra content. The deluxe edition is going to include all the content from the base game and its DLC, plus a new DLC, new cover art, and collectible cards. And the Pipe and Hot Collector's Edition includes everything from the deluxe edition, as well as a tabletop game, a manual and art book, a tie-in comic book, posters, a pizza box, and a special coin. Now, I'm not really a collector, but for just $100, it sounds like a pretty good deal to me. And number 2, I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2. This movie isn't going to come out until 2027, so it's going to be a while, but I really like the first Mutant Mayhem, and Shredder is presumably going to be the main villain of this movie, which is awesome. I just hope they make him actually intimidating like he should be. And the Krang are also set to appear in this movie, which is pretty cool. And at number 1, I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin, the movie. This is going to be a live-action, rated-R adaptation of The Last Ronin. I'm honestly more excited for the movie than I am for the game, because The Last Ronin comic is very short, so it makes sense for it to be a movie, and it being R-rated allows it to stay very faithful to the comic. I can't wait to see this movie, and I hope it'll be just as impactful for the TMNT franchise as Logan was for the X-Men franchise, and that's my ranking. I gotta say, the future of the franchise looks pretty bright. Let me know down below which of these you're most excited for, but that's all for this video. I am Midnight Drift, and I will see you later.